Hello everybody, today we will have the lab number 8 and we'll talk about the development of the head and neck. It's actually the same as we had it in theoretical, okay, but we will have some figures in order to have a clear vision for it. So the most distinctive feature for the development of the head and neck is some structures that we call it the pharyngeal arch. The appearance of these or the presence of these structures will form in the fourth and fifth weeks of development, and whenever these will appear we can say that the head and neck start to form. Okay, so this structure is actually showing you the general structure of the pharyngeal arch. Okay, so as you can see that there are some pharyngeal pouch, okay, and we have pharyngeal clefts, and each one is forming the separately different pharyngeal arch. Like what we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and also we have 5 and 6. They are fused and usually not mentioned as a function for it. Okay, as we said that we have arch number 1 and 2 with the 3 and 4. Each is supplied with its own component of what? Of artery and nerve cartilage. And each one has its own endoderm, lined mesenchyme tissue with also ectoderm shown, and also we have mesoderm with paraxial mesoderm, parietal mesoderm, different kind of mesoderm origin. Okay, why? And I will ask you and answer it in this lecture also. Let's answer it actually, because each arch, as we mentioned in the theoretical lecture, has its own function to form different structures, or let's say different part in the head and neck, include the face. So all of it includes, for example, the face includes skin and also bone, muscle, all need مثلا endoderm, mesoderm, neural crystals, also ectoderm. So also it will need to be supplied with nerve, artery, and cartilage. Okay, so that's why each arch needs different kind of layers or origin layers, okay, or germ layers. Okay, so we will see also that the structure itself, I mean the arch, consists of cleft, and we said that cleft separates each arch externally, while pouch separate each arch internally. Okay, look, this is showing you how the arch will be seen. Okay, so developing brain, and this is the stomatium, and you can see that the arches are right here, and they are lined with the different kind of germ layers, and also we have the pouch arch, I mean pharyngeal arch, pharyngeal membrane, also cleft. Okay, and we'll see that the derivatives of the pharyngeal arch are different derivatives, but I will give you some examples in order to memorize it and know it. Okay, so for pharyngeal arch number 1, the mandibular arch we call it, has two prominences. We call it maxilla and mandibular prominence. And maxilla, for sure, it will form maxilla and another structure like the zygomatic bone, squamous part of the temporal bone. Okay, and also larger lower we call mandibular, that form mandible. Pharyngeal arch 2 we also called hyoid, and that will form hyoid bone. Arch 3 and 4 usually form neck structures, while derivatives of pharyngeal pouch number 1 also can form tibial-tympanic recesses, tympanic cavity, eustachian tube that are related to the ear, and pharyngeal pouch 2 also forms palatine tonsils. Look, this is not restricted just for this structure, I mean this part of the head, or let's say this part of the neck, because it can form more than one structure, but we will give you some examples for it. Okay, and this is an example, like number 2, pouch number 2 forms the palatine tonsil. And pharyngeal posture 3 forms inferior parathyroid and thymus, while 4 will form superior parathyroid. Okay. If we come to the clefts, we will take the cleft number 1, and we can say that the first cleft penetrate the underlying mesenchyme, and as we said, there is a mesenchyme tissue that lining the pharyngeal arch, and this will give rise to external auditory meatus. Okay, look, this is a drawn figure in order to make it clear in your mind if you want to memorize. Look, the cleft form auditory tube. Okay, and look, this is the cleft and this is the pouch. So number 2 can form the palatine tonsil, and you can see here inferior parathyroid, thymus, okay, superior parathyroid gland, and this one leave it. I'll move and show, okay, for the 6th one. This one also showing you the each arch, cleft, and pouch can form a structure like this one, cleft number 1, auditory tube, primitive tympanic cavity, with also external auditory meatus. Okay, palatine tonsil by number 2. Okay, pouch number 2, parathyroid gland by number 3. Okay, thymus also, parathyroid gland, I mean the superior one, by the 4th one. Okay, so these are some figures or pictures that showing you an imaginary picture for the pharyngeal arch. Okay, so this is all for today for the lab number 8. I wish that everything is clear. If you have a question, as usual, please do not hesitate to ask me. Thank you. See you next week.